you, I'm not really doing over yonder. I'm actually looking at a different camera. So we are on YouTube at watchams.com. And also in our Facebook group that you can get through to by going amspublicgroup.com. And then, of course, we're here on the TikTok. So, but today, so if you're just popping in for a live and say, oh, who's this chick on live? My name is Dr. Mo. I am a doctor in real life, but I'm not a doctor on TikTok. You should never get your medical advice from social media. Okay. So why am I talking? Because there is some general advice that's helpful. It's just not medical advice. So anyhow, if you're new to the channel or new to my TikTok page, it says invite Courtney to go live. Courtney can't go live. She's busy. Stop pushing me. Just as a background, Courtney, Neil, and I are part of Active Medical Solutions, which is a lifestyle medicine practice. Talking about 3 topics today on this live. So I'm going to grab that one first. I was actually asked today, do you also prescribe brand name Manjaro? This was by a friend who's a nurse. And I thought, holy crap, if she doesn't know this, this is a problem. This is a problem in my ability to communicate. I said, yeah, we're a medical practice, not a one-trick pony. So it was a little bit like, wow, I think I should probably be a little bit more vocal about this. Active Medical Solutions is not someone, we don't sell anything. Well, we sell medical services. We don't sell any drugs, right? We prescribe medications. We manage. Oh, Amanda's on too. Hi, yay. That's great. So Amanda's with us at AMS as well. So Amanda is moderating, which is amazing. People sneaking in time at work. I'm okay with it because, well, just because. So anyhow, what was I talking about? Not a one-trick pony. Yeah, we're a medical practice. We are a lifestyle medicine practice. So we do treat long-term weight management, and that is a lot of what we treat because that's a lot of what plagues most of us or did plague most of us, whether it is excess weight on our bodies or excess food obsession on our brains. So that is one of the biggest things that we treat. We do work with some pharmacies, and we will pass those prescriptions along to pharmacies, whether it's your local CVS or whether it is Empower Pharmacy. You know, we will do that. We will help manage that. We collect fees on behalf of our compounding pharmacy partners, but we do not make the drugs. So we're not that kind of place. But so that was the first thing I want to talk to you. The title of this, what was it? Macros, giveaways, and nausea. Okay, so we're doing a patient live, so we'll dive into the nausea thing on Wednesday for sure for our patients. But I just wanted to hop on and do this real quick. So I figured we'll do my points and then questions. So the giveaways. Here's the bad news: I'm not giving stuff away. Well, I guess this, right? Knowledge, I suppose. Oh yeah, I'm all with Heather. Let me pin that comment real quick. I'm like, wait, pin it. I don't want to forget it. Okay, so. There's no giveaway, but I got a text from a very good friend who was at a clinic open house or something for one of her doctors. And one of the nurse practitioners there was doing a semaglutide injection giveaway. I'm like, what is this, a Tupperware party? They were literally like, it was a raffle to win an injection of semaglutide. And I thought, I was floored. And the funny thing was my friend was also floored because she's like, you're the only interaction I've had with your medical practice. So I was like, what is going on? Like, why are they giving away, first of all, why are they giving away prescription drugs? I think that might be illegal as an aside. Like you can get it from the manufacturer, but I don't know anyway, okay, let's not talk about that. I don't know the answer to that. But this was her comment, because I need to scroll and look. I could see how that would put mud on the face of what you're doing. And I loved the way she put that because I was like, yeah, kind of, like, oh, let's just get, I don't know, like a raffle to give it away. I mean, granted, yeah, okay, I just can't. That's all I'm going to say. We'll just let that speak for itself. So hold on. Now I talked too long, so I missed Heather's comment. Once I lost the weight, everyone thinks I should be fine. Yeah, good luck on that. Me too. Everyone thinks, oh, geez, you're 118 pounds. You're rocking it. Yeah. Well, if you've heard my lives and you've heard my stuff, you know that there's a lot of brain retraining that goes into it. And there's a lot of metabolic repair that's going to need to happen that doesn't happen in a year, in my opinion. So at least as me as a patient, it's not happening in a year. I'm not ready to stop. What was the other thing? Nausea. We'll do that real quick. If you're on a GLP-1, vomiting is never an acceptable side effect. Period. Short. If you have to take nausea medicine every day, something's wrong. You're eating the wrong things. And let me give you an example. 7:00 last night. I go to bed at about 11:30. I know it's too late. I hear you. I'm out at Whole Foods, and I love Whole Foods, and I love to sit and read a book at Whole Foods and eat food, right? So I'm like, well, I'm not going to get any sugar because that's a bad idea, and I know that road, right? So at least my frontal lobe was engaged enough, and the lizard brain in the back wasn't driving. But I love the mashed potatoes, so I got mashed potatoes and meatloaf, right? Guess who was up at 3:30 in the morning thinking, I'm going to puke. I am going to throw up. Cold sweats and everything. I'm going to throw up. You got to be kidding me. I ate it at 7:00. I knew better, but it was good. It was mashed potatoes and meatloaf and mashed potatoes. It was really good, but it was heavy, and it was probably too much in the way of mashed potatoes. Let's be serious.
You think it was that or the red meat from the meatloaf?
Combo. So it was a sauce on the red meat, right? Because Neil asked if it was that or the red meat. There was a sauce on the meatloaf. It was a gravy. Okay, it wasn't sauce. It was gravy. So I had literally a cup of mashed potatoes. Okay. And it was a peanut butter measurement of cup, right? So I'm totally lying. And it was a very small piece of meatloaf, but literally the volume plus the fat and the complexity. 3:30 in the morning, sweating bullets, thinking I'm going to throw up. I hate throwing up. Could never be a good bulimic. And I don't want to exercise enough to be an exercise bulimic. So I'm like kind of screwed. I had to find something that worked, right? So that's why I've been on Manjaro for a year. My brain's a disaster, obviously. But yeah, I was so sick. But I didn't. Now, here's the deal. I'm literally sweating with nausea, a physical reaction to nausea. Did I find Zofran and take it? I'll give you 3 guesses. You're going to need none. No, I did not. Why? Because nausea doesn't kill you. It's uncomfortable. And I wanted a little negative feedback at that point too, because I like the heart. Thanks. Did you happen to see on TikTok? I had a heart on my head. It was amazing.
There it is.
So nausea won't kill me, right? It's super uncomfortable and makes you have the green face, right? Oh, boy, did I have that green face. But like I got up, I peed, I'm sitting on the toilet thinking, I really don't want to throw up. I hate throwing up. I just don't want to. So I didn't take nausea medicine. I didn't throw up. I wrote it out, and that was the end of it. And I'm not going to eat meatloaf and mashed potatoes at 7:00 when I'm already full. So, which also had something to do with it too, right? I wasn't hungry. I had eaten a large meal at 4:00. I know. I didn't need it. Nope, didn't need it. So anyhow, if your provider though, like, if you're needing Zofran or Phenergan or Reglan, 2-3 times a day, then we've had 2 patients recently with the same thing. I'm like, oh, hold on. Either your dose is too high, because I went up this week. I've been on 5 forever. I went up. I'm done. I couldn't handle it anymore. I'm not going to do 5, or I'm not going to do 7.5 next week, though. I don't know if I could do it 2 weeks in a row. But if you're needing nausea medicine all the time, either one, you're not learning to eat well with the medication. I'm saying eat well. It doesn't have to be this crazy diet thing, right? Sniff a small alcohol prep. I should have found one. I felt terrible. But again, I needed the negative feedback a little bit. But if you're having to manage that, then it's a big deal, right? And if you're throwing up, that's an ER visit. That's not a wait. Patty so one of the comments on Facebook/YouTube, we're going to call it on Wave because that's our multi-streaming platform. But Patty said, totally get the negative feedback. Bring it on. So Amanda, come on, but I'm currently lunching between hoo-has. She works in women's health. Just so we are all aware on her actual profession. Because that's a totally different facet of TikTok that I do not partake in.
I just want to make sure that's the correct spelling of hoo-has.
Is it?
I'm wondering.
I don't know. I've never really spelled hoo-ha before. I usually spell it with an H, just an H.
Yeah. But we don't work in that profession, so maybe she knows better.
Yes. No, she's a hoo-ha expert. So I'm going to trust Amanda's spelling of hoo-ha. And I also don't know if on TikTok, if you guys can hear Neil when he talks. I'm going to turn him up a little bit because I have an idea, Neil.
Uh-oh. I'm going to put the speaker right next to the mic.
If I can put the speaker on. Okay, if you're on TikTok, somebody throw me a comment. You can hear Neil?
Perfect.
We win.
Well,
We win.
if you can hear me, give me a follow, because once we get to 1,000, you can hear me probably a little clearly.
Neil, put your and no, I'm not just sticking on my chest for views. My back hurts a little. My SI joint hurts today. But while we're here, my shirt says courage over comfort. I had to mirror it so it's the same as on both platforms because it was driving me crazy. If I was like opposite, I was very confused. But yeah, follow Neil Hyzak FNP. Go find him. Neil, at yourself in the comments.
Oh, I just threw my link up there.
Okay, whatever. I don't know where. Where? On TikTok?
On TikTok.
Oh, good for you. Okay, good. I missed it. What was the third thing? Macros. This is actually made me want to get on here because this is so much better now that they can hear you. This is awesome.
Heck yeah, it is.
I'm so excited. But I was on Facebook and there was a post about don't judge me, please, which I thought was great, right? Don't judge people. Like we're all fighting a battle. But she's like, I can't give up Dr. Pepper. I need help. I need help, right? Kudos for asking for help, right? Most of us, okay, me, let me just speak for myself. I never had the balls to ask for help. It was tough. And so never had the ovaries to ask for help as long as we're talking about women's health. But somebody told this girl, which was, I thought it was a pretty cool comment, said, just maybe try tracking your macros and just see how much sugar that is. And it might cognitively, she didn't use the word cognitively, I'm paraphrasing, but it might just make you aware enough that you're just going to want to stop, which, God, I wish that worked for me. It doesn't. I can know all the things and still not change a damn behavior. And somebody chimed in and said, what's a macro? And I thought, holy shit. Ooh, well, whatever. We talk about these things all the time with no regard for the people who don't know. And someone had commented, and the comment she did a great job at kind of trying to explain. But I want to explain what a macro is and why we care. A macro, the term macro is in the health space used to shorten the word macronutrients. So, and by the way, I'm not outside. I'm in my inside office today because I have workers in the front, the back. So if you hear construction, it's because it's going on somewhere in my house, everywhere in my house. So I can't be outside. I'm kind of bummed. Anyhow, macronutrients are big nutrients, right? Like let's go Sesame Street style. Big nutrients. Sorry. I need a Muppet. Wait. Hold on. I'm going to show it on TikTok, but I can't really show it on. There's a Muppet. Oh, hold on. Here's another Muppet. We'll get some Sesame Street Muppets. Come on, big fat cat. See, we don't fat shame around these parts. The cat's as big as the dog. So macronutrients are large nutrients. They are the things that you eat. Things, great term, right? I swear to God, I'm a doctor. They are the things that you eat that supply you with nutrients, in contrast to micronutrients, which just help processes like vitamins and minerals, right? You don't get calories from vitamins and minerals. It helps your processes. So macronutrients are nutrients, right? Things that you eat that give you energy, supply you with calories. Calories are units of energy, right? This isn't about, I love this part. We need to do this more often, Neil. This is like my favorite.
Basics. Yeah.
I know I love the basics. So there are technically 4 macronutrients, things that you take in that give you calories. Carbohydrate, 4 calories per gram. Protein, 4 calories per gram, but takes more to use. So the effective calories is a little bit lower. I didn't get into fiber with the carbs, so we won't even get into net carbs there because that's a little, I'm like, that's a rabbit hole. Let's not do that right now. But yeah, net carbs are there too. But really carbs, protein, fat, which is 9 calories per gram, more than 2. So you're like, oh my God. I know I totally bashed Susan Powder this morning in my short. I shouldn't have. Oh, was she still alive? I mean, she should be, right? She's probably pretty healthy, I would think. God help her. But anyway, I feel bad because she gets a bad rap because I always use her for the fat makes you fat because it's really helpful because people think, oh my God, it's 9 calories per gram. Yes, but it's needed for your hair, your skin, your cell membranes, your organs. You just don't want all of it stored in your damn liver, right? You don't want it stored around your heart. When we get overweight, we eat too much, not too much fat, too much period, and store excess energy because where else are you going to put it? It goes around your heart. It goes into your liver. Well, we know where else it goes. Places you can see. And then, really. And then the fourth macronutrient is going to be alcohol. Okay, 7 calories per gram, no nutritional value whatsoever, 7 empty calories per gram. So in contrast to the 9 from fat, the alcohol are just 7 poison calories, okay, that your body has to metabolize first before it even gets to the nutrients. So say, well, I drink vodka and orange juice. Well, great. Good job on the carbs and the vitamins. But your body has to use the alcohol first to even get to the nutrients because it wastes all of its time and energy trying to get there. Okay, so that's why excess fat is caused in the liver by both drinking alcohol and eating too much food. That went real far for macros, but so your macros are things that you eat that give you energy. That's the short version. And when people track their macros, depending on who you're listening to at the time, you are usually trying to manipulate things. Even in our practice, we're trying to get people to get in enough protein. So you're usually trying to manipulate something or be aware, I guess.
Yeah, but with us, we're not necessarily trying to manipulate, much other than, trying to retain your muscle mass. I mean, it has a side effect of, keeping you fuller longer and helping with cravings later on throughout the day. But we just want to keep that muscle, that fat burner machine
burning. Yeah. No, yeah, and that's true. We are, because we really do push protein. And somebody actually commented the other day on something about high protein, and I actually referred them to Alan Aragon and who else? Why can't I? Where my brain just dumped the other name. Anyway, Alan Aragon's good enough.
Is there anybody else though?
There was somebody else, right? Alan Aragon is.
Alan's amazing.
Yeah, he is the man.
Talk about a rabbit hole. If you send them on there, they're going to be reading for days.
I know, right? I know. You want to read about protein? Alan's got it. 100 pounds down, Aaron in Dallas. Okay, everybody, let's celebrate for Aaron because that's amazing.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Like, you lost my 10-year-old. Congratulations. And he's not a small kid. He's 5 foot tall, and actually, he's like 96 pounds now. I don't know what happened, but he was 100. Oh, amazing. Amazing. You lost a human. You lost half yourself. All right. Let's see. Okay. Time for questions. That was my soapbox stuff. That was it. I like the fact that Wave times me so I can know when to zip it.
Do you really though? Do you really know?
I don't really know when to zip it. I never know when to zip it. Ever. So bummed on 15 milligrams and haven't been able to lose weight. That is a heck of a concept because it's a good topic to grab.
Yeah.
I talked to my patient this morning or last night. I don't know. The days they run together. You'll have to excuse me. I'm old. But I talked to my patient. It took her, I don't know, 6 months. We ramped up. She was on Rybelsus before, which is the oral version of semaglutide. That was from her doctor. And then she was on 3 different diabetes medications. Anyway, long story longer. We simplified her meds, got her on Mounjaro, got insurance to approve her Mounjaro. She was a diabetic, so obviously that was okay. And then it took her 4 months on 15 before her body started to release any of the weight. Now, very, very rarely, I've never seen one with Mounjaro. I've seen a couple with semaglutide. We have non-responders, but usually they're just not at a high enough dose because they don't want to go up. But you're at the top. Now, on the flip side, I also saw today on Reddit that somebody said again about the 30 milligram dose for weight loss Mounjaro. And so I asked them to please send me some official info because I just have rumors. I'm just spreading rumors here, straight up gossip.
Yeah, I can't wait for that study to come out.
I know. I'm like, guys, just let me know we can do 30. Because if we can get you up there, like our patients, so say you're maxed out, you're my patient, you're maxed out on 15, we can add other medications. But again, I would also start, speaking of protein, is we start making sure you're sleeping 7 hours a night. We call these the big rocks. That's me. That's my annoying thing. I have a lot of annoying things. Just add it to the list. But sleep 7 hours a night, reduce stress, get 100 grams of protein. It's not a number I picked out of my Ozempic ass. It is based on number of pounds of lean body mass that almost everyone on here listening has at least 100 pounds or close, right? I've got like 95, 100 pounds of lean body mass, non-fat mass. And that does include essential fat too, because you can't have 0% body fat. Sleep, stress, protein, hydration with electrolytes, and with the protein, getting in 50 grams before noon. Because as Neil said earlier, it just makes you make better decisions later. Just helps you out. Helps me out anyway.
At least give it a try. Like, I mean, I know the days like when we get donuts for the kids. If I start my day with donuts, it's a bad day. Like,
Oh
there's
my God,
no way
right?
I'm not going to eat any leftover donut and then other garbage. But if I start my day with protein, like it goes well.
It does. It's like, oh, look, a gateway drug. Yay!
Pretty much.
Donuts.
I'll shoot heroin later. It's fine.
Right. We just go straight to the drugs later. Sounds good. Oh, it is the God's honest truth though. Like if I don't eat either my breakfast, which I eat this little half a pita sandwichy frozen thing, or today I'd actually skip that because well, we discussed that already. And I just had my smoothie a little bit ago. But I want to pin this comment because I think it's really good. What would you recommend for sleep? Because it's the one thing I can't get done. I don't sleep. I worked nights for 15 years. So took 6 months and did sleep training for myself, not my kid. I did that too. That was worse, by the way, because if you got kids, we're not going to go back there. He's 10 and sleeps like a champ. But I did sleep training with myself. I have a regimen of I take 2 capsules of On It New Mood every day, not one, because sometimes when I become a cheapskate, I think, well, one should be fine. One's not fine, take 2. And I take 3 milligrams of rapid release melatonin. I used to take doxylamine, but then I realized that Benadryl and associated compounds, even when you're on a very small dose, I'm talking like it was a chip. When you're on a very small dose, I had terrible withdrawal symptoms. So I'm not doing that again. And I make sure I go to bed at the same time, which now I can most days. But even when I was working full time in the ER, I had the same sleep regimen. If I was working that night, I would go to bed at 9 a.m. I'd get up at 7:30 a.m., go back to bed at 9, pat around the house in my, head down. Just don't talk to me. Drive the kid to school in sunglasses, look like this, come home. It's the same. It's routine. It's routine management. But I really did sleep train. I have blackout shades in my bedroom, the bedroom upstairs, not the one that actually has to look pretty for other humans. So for when I was sleeping during the day, but it's a lot of routine. Now people say don't have screens before bed. I do dark mode because I read my Kindle. I read novels. I do not do work before bed. Neil and Ashley can attest. If I'm doing work before bed, you know it because I'm texting about all kinds of stupid shit at 10 o'clock. And then I'm up till 12. So it's a lot of routine and sleep training. So, okay. So somebody
I want to
had,
hit this one with Heather. My provider doesn't, because she's gained some weight after stopping. My provider doesn't believe in maintenance, and thinks I should know better by now.
well, my provider didn't believe in helping me. So I became one and said, screw everyone. Well, I don't believe it. I could say I don't believe in electricity, but when I flip the switch, the light comes on, and I think that's pretty nifty. So maybe they should look at some studies.
Yeah.
It's a little
Well, I think Heather sent us a message on our website to kind of come join us. So she'll be coming to the right practice. We believe in maintenance here.
Right? We actually have started people on GLP-1s. Ready for the comments? Ready? Get your popcorn.
Ooh.
We started people on GLP-1s at 120 pounds because and some of them are in maintenance.
Yeah.
But the friend actually that I told you about earlier, sorry. I'm like, what is this person texting me about? Really? You're going to be that much of a pushy human being over health insurance and you don't know me and it's spam, I'm glad I'm doing a live because I'm not going to text them back. So, my friend who we were talking about this with the giveaways and stuff, but she started out, she was 120 pounds when she came to me. But I know her food noise. I know the struggle she has with food. I know the struggle she has with sugar. I've known it for 10 years. More than that, a long time. Anyway, we've been friends for a long time. And I know her struggle. And I said, do me a favor, just try a low dose. Just try a low dose. And she could never get the brand name. So we started much later. So we started her at 1.25. And she was like, what is this magic? And she's like, I actually want to eat good food. I don't know what's going on. She ended up losing like 3 pounds or something silly, but that was just really inflammation because, again, donut gateway drug. Given the option, she was going to eat the sea salt. In case she watches this, she was going to eat the sea salt caramels.
Sounds good.
I do pay attention when you talk to me. Yeah. No, but think about it, right? If you wake up and you're not ready to, okay, you wake up and there's donuts. If your lizard brain's driving the bus and you're not thinking, it's going to be a rough road because you open up the floodgates to those neural signals of my brain loves sugar. And we can go into the evolutionary advantage of that and why it's the case, but it doesn't matter. It's real. Be like, oh no, I'm not like that. Okay, then you're not human because that is human biology. So, me in the soapbox. Let
me snag this one here. Houdini, any thoughts on long-term, a year or two, or Contrave use?
Like long-term use of?
I'm assuming of like the GLP-1s.
I'll stay on it forever. My plan is to stay on forever in some way, shape, or form, depending. I think in 10 years, it's going to look real different, the landscape, probably because our health system is going to implode. I don't know. I just can't imagine it can keep going while it's going. Long term, it doesn't stress me out because these medications have been out since 2005. So I don't have concerns from that as long as you don't have contraindications or complications.
Weren't they being studied like 1980 or something, 1970, what we saw the other day when they invented
72. Okay. Yep. They started studying the GLP-1 receptor and medications with it in 1972. So for uninformed individuals on social media that say it's a new drug and we don't know what's going to happen with it, the class of drugs has been studied and or mass produced since 1972. So, we have some patients on Contrave.
We have some patients doing very well on Contrave.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it's expensive, like to go brand name. So we actually we'll make it out of the parts of it, which makes it dramatically cheaper.
Yeah. Sarah said, my resting heart rate has increased since starting semaglutide. I don't know why. It goes away after about 6 months. Mine took a little longer. Mine took probably about 9 or 10 months to go away. But it was 10 or so beats a minute higher. I don't know the mechanism behind that. Do you, Neil?
I don't.
The higher heart rate?
If we know it all, I don't know if it's like a metabolic thing as it's regulating your blood sugar. And I don't know if it's not a permanent thing, but like the whole time you're on treatment, if it happens.
It goes away. I mean, in studies, it went away after like 6 months.
Okay.
Mine's back down. My resting heart rate, I think, is back down to, like 62. So it's not as low as it used to be. But I don't care. But it's also sometimes when it picks up, it feels like anxiety when I get higher heart rates because of that. So it's really uncomfortable sometimes. And I'm not talking high heart rates, right? If you have high heart rates like 130, 140, you got to go to the ER. I'm talking 75. Like I can tell when my heart rate's 75 because that's not resting for me.
Yeah, it's like 5 to 10 beats. That's it.
Yeah. Now, granted, my heart rate is resting at 75 if I've just binged. That's lovely. Goes up 20 beats a minute when I binge. I've tracked it. Isn't that nice? Why do you do it? Because I'm a compulsive eater. That's what I do.
I'm gonna read this comment. It'll make us both mad. Called CVS Caremark. They will not cover for weight loss. Quote, it is taking away from patients who need it.
Go to Bourbon RX. He just posted a video on it. I watched it when I popped onto TikTok. He cracks me up. I love him to death. I hope he doesn't think that's creepy. He just did a if he does, whatever. But yeah, he just did a video on that because there was actually a provider on there telling people not to take it away from people who need it. So, okay, well then get Wegovy because that's FDA approved for weight loss. I don't, that. So, and the argument is that you're taking it away from diabetics who need it. The diabetics who need medication to live need insulin. Like the short-term, holy crap, you're going to die, they need insulin. The overweight people, this is in the 1970s, I think it was 1970, Medicare, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services deemed obesity a cosmetic disease. We know that is not the truth. Science has proven that is not the truth. Yet we are so reluctant to let go of that this is all about vanity. It isn't. Science says it isn't. Medicine says it isn't. And a gazillion anecdotal experiences say it isn't. I can't speak for anyone else's experience. Yes, it is nicer to look in the mirror and see a smaller human when the larger human represented the struggle and the pain, physical and mental, and the metabolic derangement of years of abuse. So if you wanted to know thanks for lighting that match, Neil.
I knew it would. Well, I don't like the box with that. I mean, if their rationale is that they can just eat less and exercise more, that fixes type 2 diabetes in some people as well. They can go on a ketogenic diet to maintain their blood sugar and they can exercise more and then they don't need a medicine. Not all, but some.
Right.
Right.
Like
they're type 2 diabetics, they're overweight.
CVS Caremark isn't saying, well, if you have hypertension, I need you to try 14 lifestyle interventions first. No, they prescribe you $4 lisinopril.
Yeah, here's your DASH diet. Get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, not to say it's not useful, but you're still going to start them on medicine. But yeah, the 13 cancers that are directly associated to obesity, and I believe it's 37 diseases that the outcome is worsened with underlying obesity. It was 36, I believe, or maybe it's now 38, but COVID was the last one. The last one that was added because it was an independent risk factor for death. Well, 10 or less, not too concerned. Wouldn't know if my watch hadn't told me. The moose out front should have told you. All right, Christmas vacation's coming up soon. Just saying.
Circle of Life, new diabetic type 2, tried metformin and made me super sick. Alternatives or suggestions? Yeah, it depends on if they put you on like immediate release or extended release. Like the immediate release is brutal and the people do not stay on it when they start taking it because of the side effects. So it'd be a talk with your doctor to see if they can change that up for you or depending on what they put you on.
Well, and some people, a lot of people, I could not tolerate metformin before I took a GLP-1.
In the same boat, I could not get to 2.
And then now I can tolerate it, no problem. Is that an animal? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a duck. I thought it was a stuffed duck. It was my cat. Sorry, buddy. Just kicked my cat. Not on purpose, not hard, but anyway, maybe he thought he was just getting pets. Yeah, so Courtney had grabbed this comment, but insurance, it's not about if you have Blue Cross, it's about which options your employer chose. I was actually reading a thread this morning that the person responding runs the benefits for his business, the company he works for, and the state that they're in, they are not allowed to cover obesity medications. Like they can't even purchase a plan in Blue Cross Blue Shield that would cover obesity medications. So it's not only Blue Cross, is it the plan? Is it the state? So you just got to call your insurance company and ask, do they cover this, this, or this, and what the clinical criteria are for each one of those. Like there's not a chance in hell of me ever getting obesity medicine coverage on an ACA plan. So
we'll see. My mother-in-law is pretty good at finding them, and I think last time she was able to find one that would cover her Mounjaro for diabetes.
Right. Well, I also want a high deductible HSA plan because I want to max out the investment part. It doesn't cover anything anyway. I have to pay my deductible of $14,000 before anything's covered. So I'm like, I could pay for Mounjaro out of pocket for a year and then still not meet my deductible. So it's just, anyway, that's health insurance for you. I just have it for catastrophic reasons, really. I hope. Mounjaro for life. Heck yeah. I would pay full price if I had to. I'm glad we have options, but just scrolling.
See if we.
Oh, wait, we missed this one. I'm 54 and have started jogging because of seeing your post early in my journey. See, that'll inspire me because guess who hasn't run yet today? I haven't worked out at all.
I wonder if she means your sweaty running posts.
Those are funny though. I like them. Well, it's funny because when I have something to say, I don't care what I'm doing. I'm like, wait, I got to say this because otherwise I'm going to lose it. So that's awesome. That makes me happy. What's the cost of medication for a month? It depends on what state you're in, which compounded pharmacy your provider uses, and what else?
Drug?
Which drug? So which drug, dose, which pharmacy, which state, what your provider uses. So like our medical services are $89 a month. The medication is separate. You know, it's like when you go to the doctor, you pay at the doctor's office, and then you go to the pharmacy and you pay at the pharmacy. We just happen to collect money for both and then pass it on. It makes it a little easier for our patients. So you also stayed on 2.5 for a long time. I'm in over a year and on 2.5. I heard that this morning as well, that some people never have to go up. And then some people should go up and they're not because it's either they shame themselves into not wanting to go up or it's too expensive, you know, which is valid. Hold on. I'll look up I do this every time. I'll look up and see our pricing.
And who's in Arizona? Is it Courtney or Galdames?
Red team. Red team's Arizona.
All right.
I mean, I'll just do Axtel because whatever. Anyway, it depends. Semaglutide's as cheap as 160 for 2 milligrams. Tirzepatide 220 for 10 milligrams. So like if you're on 2.5, you would need to order 10 milligrams to get you through a month. So, and with that particular pharmacy that I looked at, it's $220 for 10 milligrams because now they sell it. Most pharmacies will sell it by volume. That's not the word. It's not volume. It shouldn't be volume.
It's the amount of milligrams.
It's the number of milligrams. I don't know how to say that, what the word is. Yes, HSA, you can use HSA for us. Yeah, we've done letters before that if they need date of service or whatever, we'll do a letter, but normally they just cover. But yeah, HSA you can use for us. And you can use for the medication portion if you are paying for that as well. It won't pay for shipping. Which is a pain in the rear end, but is what it is. Still having great results on 2.5, literally from my couch to 12,000 steps plus every day. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yep. It is live now. I don't know who's on Facebook. Whoever just asked if it's live now, throw your name in there because I can't see the Facebook part. You're anonymous. Because we're on a multi-stream, so we can get to YouTube as well. And then, so I can't see who's on Facebook. Okay. Like 5 more minutes, and then I gotta go. See, I gotta go run.
Oh, you gonna post a sweaty run video?
I'm not posting a sweaty run video today. I can't believe you watch those. What am I using for multi-stream? we we started with restream.io, which lasted all of 5 minutes before it locked up. And I've heard great things about it. It just didn't work for us. So we use wave.video. I can't use it though for TikTok because I don't have the RTMP key. So I literally have my phone set up on my laptop. I know. It's like, but it's genius. Did Neil just leave me? Fine then. Um, Fine. See ya. Bye. Sorry. So I actually have it set up because one of the other posters streams to TikTok and YouTube at the same time. And I was like, how do you do it? Do you have the key? And he's like, no, I just set up 2 devices. I'm like, oh, that's good thinking. So that's kind of genius. So the TikTok is on my phone, and over here I have my laptop with wave.video that goes to Facebook and YouTube. So can't wait to meet the team. Super excited. Super excited. Yeah, I do have to go soon because it's going to be that time where I've grown roots to my chair and I've done all kinds of social media crap this morning. Now he wants to come back. Did you hear the doorbell? Isn't that funny? Where'd you go? Neil?
I'm back.
Where'd you go?
I don't know if it was TikTok or what, but whatever popped up said like my computer was locked up and taken over. I'm like, what? So I just rebooted it, and I'm like, that's weird.
It's the aliens. It's fine. Well, it's probably the Chinese, but that too.
All I'm on is Tebra and a bunch of Google stuff. So I don't know.
Probably Tebra. Do we have openings for patients? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, got plenty. Because we now have systems in place. We could actually handle about 3 times the number of patients we have.
Here's one. Metformin is 500 milligrams and not extend release. Yeah, that I don't know why anybody prescribes immediate release. All it does is give people a stomach upset and diarrhea.
I do by mistake.
Well, now you know better.
I know. I do. When I want to get on something for diabetes and weight loss, yeah. That is the perfect comment. You are ready to take charge. The best medications we have for diabetes and weight loss for glucose control is the GLP-1 class. So if you don't have multiple endocrine neoplasia, you don't have medullary thyroid carcinoma, not a heavy drinker, don't have pancreatitis, they're great drugs to try. I would definitely talk to your provider. I say that with a grain of salt because I talked to my doctor and he said, eat less and move more. I know, God bless him. That's fine. Whatever. Because I didn't try that for 40 years. Thanks, sir. Yeah, I work with Neil. So you'll see Neil's face. We actually have 2 teams. Amanda, who is probably almost off her lunch break by now. So yeah, we have 2 teams, which we're split by states. So you have to make sure you're in our states too. I should probably have said that. Ready? I'm going to see if I can list them.
Let's do it.
Alabama, Arizona, New York, Ohio, Tennessee, Texas, Florida, Virginia, Michigan. Damn it. It's on the website at amstelehealth.com. How many pounds am I down and how long? 50. And it took me, I did the math. July, August, September, October, November, 8 months, give or take, somewhere in there. But I lost a ton at the beginning because I had gained like 7 pounds the week before. So it's a little bit fake, right? Because a lot of that was water. But things had escalated very quickly. And then I've been at maintenance for 8 months, which is not the cakewalk, excuse the pun, it's intended, that one would hope it is. From the day we have an appointment with you. Okay, so here's the kicker. We do most of our care by telehealth, by asynchronous telehealth, which means you can get us on board, sending the pharmacy the order in 24 hours, which will usually get it in your hands in 3 to 4 days. We do video visits, but you don't have to schedule those before we do this. We create a relationship by text, and then we add on the video visit as a supplement shortly thereafter to get that done. So most of our pharmacies are a lot shorter than 7 to 10 business days right now. 7 to 10 is South Lake.
Yeah, Axtel's super quick. Some days it's like I put it in, they ship it that day.
Yeah, depends on the pharmacy. So some of ours are really good. Yeah, I've been afraid to go up in dosage. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not having side effects of the dose you're at, and you need more appetite control, like it's only lasting 4 or 5 days, like that's kind of when you know to go up. I mean, if it's still working for you, you can stay at that dose forever.
Mm-hmm. Circle of Life said, I'll ask my doctor again. I'm in Arizona, or just come to us. I need to drop weight. I don't have the years that were wasted. I look at Time Hop every night before I go to bed. Look at my kid growing up, all the fun things. And do you know how hard it is to look back and not get upset and it wasn't available, right? We didn't know about it. I didn't know about it. Once you know better, you do better. But I look back to 2 years ago and I was 50 pounds heavier. I know the pain I felt, and I felt that pain for 40 years. In that 40 years, I had about probably 5 years sporadically where I could fight to get to a lower weight, but it just would always rebound higher. And that was pre-pregnancy, post-pregnancy, all the things. You can go to sleep, buddy. That's the dog. Here. Just because everyone needs a little wind dog face. He's feeling real tired and he's kind of grumpy that he's got to be in the house today. So I know the feeling of the years wasted. It's sometimes really emotionally hard to deal with. I mean, for me anyway. But all I can do is be grateful that right now I'm not like that. Right now I have mostly freedom from food. I still fight, but not like before. Yeah, I had no idea I had such strong food noise. So I had a video visit this week with a patient who totally gets me. And she had the same response the first time I took Manjaro. Like 8 hours later, I was like, huh, like things were quiet. My brain was quiet. I did not understand how much chatter I had up there about what diet I was on, what I was going to eat for breakfast. Did I do this? Did I do that? How am I going to get this weight off? Making plans. Oh, I can lose 20 pounds by never, freaking never. Stop. Just, all the time because I was in so much emotional and physical pain. I didn't know. And now I have a lot more capabilities I have more brain space. Yeah, I get sad. I get really sad. Thank goodness. My son was looking at a picture of, it's actually on our website, AMS Telehealth, because I had the guts to put it up there. But he looked at a picture from Ironman last year, which was a year and a half ago, that I did not finish. Obviously, I had no business even trying. Let's be real. But he looked and he said, "You didn't look like that, Mom," because he doesn't see me that way. He always saw the real me. And it makes me a little less sad because the people that know you and they love you for you. And it's not about the weight and it's not about other people. It's about your own survival. It's not about the vanity. I don't care that my clothes are smaller. I mean, I do care, but that's not the primary outcome of this. It's sanity. Yep. Yeah. So got a little deep there. I came on to talk about macros and here we are.
Oh, it always turns out that way.
I know it does. You know why? Because people have pain and I get it. Here, today's episode is not brought to you by Body Armor Light, but if they'd like to hop on and sponsor, please do.
Me too.
Right? Please, we get you guys a lot of people. That's pretty funny. Yeah, we're not sponsored by anybody. we just come out and do our thing. All kinds of fun.
So Mary John over in Florida, her chatter hasn't stopped after a 4-week break, and she doesn't know what to do.
4-week break of,
I'm guessing the meds.
if you're off, it's going to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are not immediate responders. So some people don't have that right away, or with semaglutide. Some people do with semaglutide even. But it takes what, weeks, sometimes weeks, months.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, once you get to your dose, we call it your dose, right? And that dose is what we have to work to get you to. We work pretty fast, by the way. Like if you're not on brand name, because insurance locks us in, but if you're not on brand name, if you're not having any response for 2 weeks, we're like, go up the 3rd week, order now, go. But we don't know that. If you're our patient, we don't know that until you tell us. So you need to tell us. I was going to ask you what you recommend for electrolytes. Really anything that's out there, except for Prime, because it's weird and crappy.
Yeah, Prime just doesn't have enough sodium in there to kind of balance it out. It's not a great hydrator. And then it has a massive amount of potassium. So, I mean, I have some. I mean, it does taste good. So I just order add like a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt to it, and it kind of fixes it for me.
Yeah, but you just shouldn't have to buy an electrolyte drink you got to fix.
Correct. They were on sale. What are you gonna do?
I know, my kid likes them.
That Bomb Pop one's pretty good.
That's the one he likes.
Yeah, it's good.
Bianca, I'm sure you've answered this before. How was your transition from tirzepatide to semaglutide?
So I actually started on semaglutide, and I had a great response to it. I was at the low, like 0.25 for like 7-8 weeks, and then 0.5 for about the same amount of time. I kind of got to where I needed to go. I tried a milligram just to see what it felt like, and then I kind of tapered right back down. After I tapered back down, I tried Monjaro. I think I did 2.5 and then 5. And I didn't have that food noise disruption. Like I still thought about the cookie dough in the fridge. But if I went as with both of them, I went to the fridge to get cookie dough and it was like 1 or 2 bites and I was done.
Yeah,
So
see, I don't have that switch still.
they both worked very well.
Yeah, I mean, it's better. It's better. But I don't have that switch so much. Like if I start eating ice cream, I have to still cognitively stop. Like I don't. Now I'm full. That's unrelated.
Yep, Mary
Yeah.
John's exactly. The Celtic sea salt. That's what I use.
Yep. All right. Well, sounds like we're cutting tile. I don't know if you guys can hear the tile. Shit's getting loud in here. Here, we'll show you the cat butt. Ready? This is where he's sitting. This is his tail. Right there. Now it's across my keyboard. Thanks, buddy. Right here. Yep. Everyone's near me. Mom's sitting down. Let's go hang out. I know. All right. I think we're gonna go for the day.
That'll work.
Yeah.
We will be back though.
Heck yeah. Just fill out the form. Awesome. We'll see you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye, guys. If I can get to the bottom.